Good morning, Soul Family. It is a cloudy day in Canyon Lake. I'm going to show you a couple of things. I've got some things we need to talk about. Okay, this is what we've got. It's actually warm. It feels like I'm in Hawaii, which seems to be a message to myself. I've been talking a lot about Hawaii lately. It might be that I want to live there. This is what it feels like today. So it's cloudy, but it's warm. To me, it's pensive. It's pensive thought, right? Outside thinking. Thinking outside the box is a good idea. Now, we're going to go out there and do our reading out there for sure. But I'm going to talk to you about something that happened last night. Now, I have a special needs cat, Siam. Actually, all my cats are special needs. Because as far as I'm concerned, we all have special needs. He was very abused. I don't know what happened to him. All I know is that if you approach him, if anyone approaches him too quickly, he runs. Even me. The only time that he feels safe and strong and aggressive and firm with me is at nighttime when I'm asleep, like lying down. He wants my love and attention. So I've often said that this is my spiritual twin's energy, right? It's all very symbolic. But last night he woke up early. He normally gets up early and starts, communicating with me, because this is when we communicate, is in our dream time. And he kind of wakes me up because when I'm not in such a deep sleep, I'm in more of a lucid kind of receptive dream space. And I had very, very lucid dreams. So when he woke me up, I thought, God, it's only it was like 2:30 in the morning. And I thought, what the hell? 4 o'clock was bad enough, but 2:30 in the morning? So when he gets up like that, they're all upset. So I gave everybody something to eat, and I took him and I put him outside my door. That door right there goes to the main house. I have a big walk-in closet. My bathroom is out there. It's odd. My landlord doesn't use any part of this upstairs of the house. It's just all for my use. And he says I could spread out and use, there's a big master bedroom and another bedroom, but I kind of like being in my own little private space, right? So Liger, my big boy, he goes, when we got the new cats, and actually before that, when Lily was sick, my other cat, he would go into that room because he just needed his own private space. I get that, right? I just said it. So Liger represents me. Look at him out there. He's the same thing as me right now, sniffing the air. I'm doing the same thing. I'm kind of like sniffing the air. There's something that's not quite right, and I'm trying to put my finger on it. And I had to borrow this little phone holder from my landlord because mine snapped yesterday when I was doing our reading. Thank God he had one. So I decided, okay, and my landlord suggested that. He goes, how's it going? Because he's got 3 cats that he's dealing with. Prince, the one that came from the drug house that we were, trying to rehabilitate. And that's why I have to say something. Yesterday in the reading, I spoke about the rose, and it was rehabilitated. I took it in and I cared for it and rehabilitated it, right? I don't know who now. I was thinking it had to do with my own spiritual twin because there was such a connection. But it could be that there's somebody in his life that he is rehabilitating, helping rehabilitate, that's been through that. Because I was helping this other prince, this other black cat that came in. He was taken out of a drug house, and it was awful, and he almost didn't make it. And anyway, so my landlord said, how's it going for you? Prince kept me up all night. And I said, so Siam keeps doing this. And he says, you know what, put him out in the other room. And I thought, I don't want to throw him out because he's so nervous as it is. But it got to I wasn't sleeping at all. And I thought, all right, this is ridiculous. So I started doing that. And it's kind of like a routine now. So last night, I took Liger into the back room, gave him his food. So he would stay there. Because if there's food in here, he'll keep coming. He wants more. And Willow was waiting. And I went into, I got Siam's and I put him outside the door. And I went to, I don't know, I had a cup. I don't know what I did. Why? There was a reason I was drawn. It just happens. Into the bathroom. And I went in there, and something was moving around in the sink. Now, the bathroom is where you release. It's where you wash things off. Like if you go to have a shower, you're gonna rid yourself of toxic energy. You're gonna rid yourself of. It's about releasing, right? Purging, whatever it is. So the sink is going to be where you wash your hands after you've done that, right? So I did that yesterday in this reading. I released my feelings. I spoke about my spiritual twin. And often when I do that, I ask myself, you know, maybe you shouldn't do that. And yet I'm moved to do it by my heart, and so I do. And then the next day I regret it, you know? I'm not chasing any man, even if he is my spiritual twin. It was about unconditional love. And the way I'm guided is, what would love say, what would love do? You know, stop with the ego, stop with worrying about what other people think. It's not your higher self that has a problem with you speaking that way. It's your lower self, your ego, wounded ego, right? Anyway, so I'm in the bathroom and I see this, and I thought it was a moth, or like we get a lot of these daddy long legs, the crane flies in here, right? And there's a huge message in that alone, because the crane people is what we are, and the fly is someone that's kind of like a disturbance or an annoyance, right? And so I turned on the light, and that's not what it was. It was a centipede, and it was moving fast, like lightning. So I'm going to turn you guys around, and I'm going to give you the meaning of the centipede message. It means a lot to me. Now, hopefully you can see something just decent to look at. Now, I've often guided you guys, you know, if you have an animal totem that comes up, go to Google and just type in, you know, whatever it is. So this is centipede totem, and there is this one, it's so light. I mean, I got to show you this. It's so light I can barely read it. It's stupid. But there's information there that I need to see. Now, there must be a message in that, right? I can barely read it. There's something there, but I can barely read it. But there's information for me. All right. Song right now, what goes around comes around. Okay, so if the centipede comes into your spirit, this is the message for you. 1, it really doesn't matter how you look. Your inner beauty will shine to show your true beauty. If you can see this, so can others. Okay, we spoke about that yesterday, right, in the reading. You have 2. You have the power to withdraw from everything, be in solitude, be yourself, and look within to get your answers. Yes, absolutely. 3. You have over 100 resources within your life to help you and support you. So ask, why are you still looking for the one thing you can't have? If you can be patient, there is something better that is coming up in the cards for you. 4, don't demean yourself thinking that you are small. Your purpose involves helping nature and plants. Yes? Remember, I mean, God, yesterday, what was I talking about? Saving these plants, right? Okay. 6, you have the capability to dig deeper and deeper within and can go as deep as your heart wants. 7, you may inherit new psychic or improve existing capabilities that help you understand the deep pain of others. This may hurt you, but you have 100 legs to stand on, so you can be compassionate and move forward. This is how I feel about what I spoke about with what I saw as far as I believe what my twin soul has been through. So you call upon a centipede when you feel everyone around you has basically shattered you, and it's essential that you look within. When you feel guilty that you made a mistake that makes you crawl up in your space, and you find it hard to mingle with anyone around you, even your loved ones. This came out in our reading yesterday, didn't it? When you have a deep desire to help and heal plants and the earth. See, I'm telling you, this isn't just me. My spiritual twin is the same. We have the same energy and we have the same desires. I don't feel that this is talking to me. Part of it is, but part of it I believe is talking to someone else. When you lose faith, ask the centipede to give you 100 different resources that will help you move forward. I needed that this morning. When you find it hard to realize or believe that you have so much inner beauty, enjoy the reading. Okay, now that is one of the. It was so hard for me to read that one that I didn't pull that up and look into that yesterday. The one that I wanted to share with you is the one that I already understand about the centipede totem. And the centipede actually has a bite that's poisonous. It's the symbol of chiefs. Now, the day that I ran into my twin soul again, I met these 2 people. I went to this outdoor garden place. It's called the Beer and Wine Garden because I wanted to go dancing. I love to dance. And I didn't want to go. It was basically spirit was making me do this. I didn't want to do it. It was also me breaking through old barriers and fear of going places that I'm not comfortable in. You know, when I used to go dancing, I would drink. I don't drink. I didn't have anybody to go with. I've never gone into a club like that by myself. Anyway, so I go in, right? Took my water, armed with my water. Walk in, and there's these 2 big guys, big tall guys, right? And they made their move, right? And I'm like, no. I told them, I basically literally told them there's somebody that I care about that's not around right now, but, you know, I'm not interested in going anywhere. I'm here for, I just wanted the music. And the guy's like, no problem. I got a lot of girlfriends that are just friends, you know, so it was cool. And I felt kind of safe with them because they were two big guys. No one was going to hit on me, right? They knew the story. I wasn't going anywhere with them. That one of them was up at the bar getting water, and we walked up to him, and he's the one who said to me, he says, don't ever call an angry chief, an angry Indian chief, a crushed acorn. And I had just been speaking about the acorn man in our reading. The acorn man is the divine masculine, the man of the forest, the Robin Hood character that my soul longs for, right? And I had literally picked up this little acorn that I had as a symbol on my desk, and I had said in the reading, where are you, my acorn man? And then one of the messages was, something wonderful is going to happen today. And I said, I wonder what Spirit has in line for me, right? Anyway, I've told you guys all the story, how through this whole series of events, I ended up at this place. And there's no other way to describe how I got there except for Spirit arranged it, because I tried to avoid it. I tried to not have it happen 5 different times, and it ended up, I listened and I went after and I did what I was told. So there I am standing there, right? Don't ever call an angry Indian chief a crushed acorn. And I'm thinking, crushed acorn? So it would be, to my mind, I immediately thought of my acorn man. And why would somebody's accusing of him being crushed? And I thought, it's me. Me. Because I heard recently, you know, my twin's angry at me. And I said, why is he angry at me? Because I see things, and sometimes I feel that what I'm seeing is him, right? And I've said to you guys, I don't believe that this person is a weak person. Absolutely not. He wouldn't be my twin if he was. He's extremely powerful. However, it doesn't mean that people aren't going to crush your feelings. It doesn't mean people aren't going to hurt you or take advantage of your goodness, right? That's how I always see. I never see the people in my life as weak or as broken, because none of us are. We all have the ability, just like the centipede said, to rise above it all, right? So anyway, after he said that to me, I turned and I felt this energy like I always do when my twin is there. And I turned around and there he was. After 5 years, I hadn't seen him, and there he was sitting. And I went right to him. Now, the reason I bring that up is because this message is talking again about, in centipede, it is the symbol of the chiefs. The chief. Don't ever call an angry Indian chief a crushed acorn, which means my twin is no crushed man. I get that. But it doesn't mean feelings haven't been hurt. It doesn't mean someone hasn't taken from you. And when I spoke about the rose bush being sucked dry, maybe it was me. Maybe it's his energy that leaches onto mine. I don't know. But unconditional love and my request, and I don't think it is, because look who just showed up. It's not me that it was being shown. Because the mallard just showed up. Now, what's going on here is there is a female and male that are together, and this male keeps trying to come in. And this is a message that this is what's been happening in our life, in our energetic life, in our personal life. There has been 2 that are meant to be together, and there's another male that keeps trying to come. Okay? All right. That's part of it. It's been happening for the last 5.5 years. So, all right, let's continue this. You guys look outside while I continue the message for the centipede. So, the centipede is a totem of the chiefs because it's poisonous and it's rapid movements. I told you this thing it moved like lightning. It was so fast. I was lightning before the thunder. Do you know that song? It's playing right now. Oh my God. Mama said, don't give up. It's a little complicated. This is a song right when I said that. No coincidence. Mama said, I hate to see you waiting. You got to have high hopes, right? So this story talks about this guy and he was no slouch, right? He had a bit of an attitude. I'm going to bring these both together. I'm glad that this came up just now. High hopes. Lyrics. Okay. This is, now I can understand why my twin's probably been angry, because he's probably misunderstood. So it's Panic at the Disco, right? And it says, have to have high hopes for a living. Shooting for the stars when I couldn't make a living. I didn't have a dime, but I always had a vision. Always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living. Didn't know how, but I always had a feeling I was going to be that 1 in a million. Always had high hopes. Mama said, fulfill the prophecy. Be something great. Go make a legacy. Manifest destiny. Now that's my twin. That's me. That's my twin. Okay? Back in the days, we wanted everything, wanted everything. Mama said, burn your biographies, rewrite your history, right? Museum victories every day. We wanted everything. We wanted everything. Mama said, don't give up. It's a little complicated. All tied up. No more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. Have to have high hopes. Mama said, it's uphill for oddities. The stranger crusaders. See, that's who we are, the crane people, the odd ones, right? It's uphill for oddities. Uphill for ones who are different. We are different. We're magic and we're wonderful. We're weird and wonderful. Right? I don't like the word weird. They say weird. I say wonderful, magical. But it is uphill for oddities. It is harder for ones who are different. Like my little Siam, he's very different. Right? Don't ever change. Don't ever change. There's something wrong with you. You weren't created with something wrong. You weren't created broken. You were created fabulous. You just need to find your way. Right? That's why you're going to rewrite your history. You're going to go and manifest destiny. And this one, quit his job. This one says, I'm going to go out there. Mama said, it's a little tied up. Hate to see you waiting. They say it's all been done, but they haven't seen the best of me. So I've got one more run, and it's going to be a sight to see. Right? And song right now is my song. And him. Ask for advice. Money twice. I'm from the dirty. Bet that Chico's nice. They call it a moment. I call it life. And I'm saying, one day, when the light is glowing, I'll be in my castle golden, but until that moment, I'm going to live this moment. And he's saying, I just want to let you know that I've taken my life and what did he say? I'm going fast ahead because I'm trying to get all of these songs in together. I just want you to know I turned my life from negative to positive, okay? Okay, I'm turning this down. No mistake that those songs came on when they did. Okay, all of this is all coming together right now. And I'm telling you, I'm doing this right now, this reading. I stopped my work and I thought, you know what? Fuck this. It's my birthday tomorrow. I'm ancient tomorrow. You know? And I said to Spirit, I want my twin back in my life. I'm tired of this not going forward. Right? By my birthday, I want to hear from him. If I don't, I move on. And my love is there. You've got it. I get it. You got your shit going on in your life, but I'm sick of waiting. Okay? So I woke up this morning and I thought, you know, I poured my guts out. I poured my life out to all of you. And, you know, yes, everyone's sick of hearing about me and my twin. This isn't just about me. There's a lot of messages in this for you. But I see that really good looking guy and I don't even give him a chance. Why? Because my heart's all wrapped up with my twin. Where's he? Manifesting his destiny, right? He's out there making a living. He's got high hopes. He's got his mind set on making himself in this world. Good for you, right? Good for you. Means that I got to do the same thing. So here we go. Rest of the message for the centipede totem, because he showed up in my sink. There was a reason he showed up in my sink. So the fact is, he is the totem of the chiefs, this angry chief. He's got a poisonous bite and he's rapid. The centipede has this painful bite and quick movement, and it even frightens the magnificent dragon. What's interesting is, I'm the dragon. I'm not afraid of you, dude. Not afraid of you. So there are several virtues that are possessed by the centipede person. One who has the power of the centipede will see enhanced fortune and improved social life. Many accomplished gamblers are fond of carrying them because they're very small and they can be kept in a pocket or a purse. They bring increased winning to gamblers. They ward off black magic. They possess the following virtues: good fortune, speed, energy, ferocity, healing, improved social life, reduction in negative energy. Good, right? They impart particular magical virtues to their owner, is what these ones feel. The stealth and force of this small creature is contained with the pearl, waiting for its proper owner to bestow its magic to the individual, or that fortunate individual. Their spiritual energy and mental clarity is given to the centipede. You give your I guess the centipede that's doing this for you. Now, what's interesting to me is, hold on a second. There's another, this one. Is this the one? Please tell me this is the one so I can freaking read it. Yes. Ugh, no, this isn't it. Hold on. Every time I say anything about him, I wake up in the next day thinking, I wish I hadn't said anything. Okay, now this is what made me think. This is not me. I know who this is. Centipedes are sweet, caring, and always know the right thing to say. They're always pointing others towards the positive in life, though they themselves are prone to anxiety and depression. While they don't care if they look tough or not, centipedes hate to look weak. afflicted, or in any other way not living the perfect life. Never call an angry chief a crushed acorn. They don't want to look weak. They don't want to appear that they can't handle absolutely everything because they have the ability. But the problem here is pride, right? Pride is not a virtue. Not that kind of pride. They try to be very, they try to be there for other people. And they hate not living the perfect life. And they hate to ask for help when they need it. This is the message we got yesterday, right? I was speaking about the one in my life that I felt had needed my love and care. This one would probably push that away, not wanting it, because not wanting to ask for help or for anyone to know that there's anything less than perfection going on in their life. They're not great with money, though they always seem to acquire it when they really need it. They like to own nice clothes, cars, and homes, and they don't mind spending the money to do that. They're smart, and they go far in education, but they can be a little scatterbrained at times. While centipedes are very caring and involved with friends and family, they can also become resentful if this caring becomes expected of them. They like to give of themselves as a gift, but they don't feel comfortable having others rely on them. Centipedes make some of the best friends you could ever hope for. They're thoughtful and caring when you need them, but they also have a lot of fun and interesting topics to discuss. Members of this sign are great listeners and conversationalists, but they don't reveal much about themselves except to those who are very close to them. They can be offended easily, and then they bottle it up inside, which can have a corrosive effect on friendships and on relationships. Not surprising, they make great romantic partners. They're loyal and trustworthy and are amazing parents. They have a hard time saying no when they need to and can get themselves overwhelmed easily. Like Mr. Rosewood, who had the fucking life sucked out of him because he gives and gives and gives, has a hard time saying no. Even if he's resentful of it, he's going to keep doing it. Why? Because he feels obligated and because he wants people to like him. And he's just a loving, giving person. But he needs to learn how to speak his boundaries, set his boundaries, right? Also needs to learn that it isn't weakness to let somebody know that you need a helping hand, that you're struggling, that you need a friend. It's called opening yourself up to another, which this centipede has a difficult time doing. Why? Pride? Hurt? I have no idea all the ins and outs, but there's many other people that have the same issue. They combine their anxious nature, and it creates stress in marriages, at least from their perspective, or in relationships, because they get themselves overwhelmed easily. Their mate may have no idea that they're feeling this way. Now, I will tell you, with my twin, I had no idea when he was stressed out. You would never be able to see it on the outside. I know now. When I saw him that day, he thought he wore a mask. He thought he was really cool, and he thought he said what he needed to say, and he thought he had it all together. I saw it all over his face, and when he left, he kicked the chair back and stormed out of there. It was very clear he was not in control of his emotions. I could see him, and that's what bothers him, is that I can see him. He hates it. Too bad, babe. I know you. So they do their best when they have a lot of variety in their careers. They're not meant to be in a cubicle. They don't like structured management styles. They thrive when they can share their interests with others, along with their caring and supportive nature. In this way, they make great teachers on any subject as long as it's interesting to them. They're excellent with children, so many become caretakers. Others become professors of art, music, history. No matter what it is they choose, they are beloved by their students because they teach from a childlike excitement for their subject. Their terrific bedside manner and comforting nature makes them great doctors, especially pediatricians, which is interesting. I've seen a lot of that in my dreams. Children are drawn to centipedes like magnets, so any career having to do with children is a great fit for this sign. No matter what they choose to pursue, it is critical that they are interested in the work that they do. If not, they're going to end up depressed and lethargic, and they're going to be missing a lot of the magic that makes them so special. Now, this is what I see in my spiritual twin. He can argue if he wants, and we'll stop talking about him, and we'll just continue this for all of us. We're going to go outside. We're going to do our reading outside. I'm bringing my scissors because I discovered something about that rose bush that I didn't take care of. Okay. I'm back out here. Bringing my water. So, remember, I mean, I just did what I was told not to do, right? Don't ever tell an angry Indian chief that he's a crushed acorn. I'm not saying you're a crushed acorn. I'm just calling you on your shit. And the thing is, we know this about each other, don't we? It's okay if you call me on my shit, but it's not okay if I call you on yours. Wrong. Wrong. So here we go. We're going to be working with the Sacred Rebels, because that be me. And we're going to be working with the Divine Circus Oracle, because this has been a freaking circus. It straight up has. Now, yesterday I told you I was going to give him the best pot, a protective pot, right? A grounded pot. I did. And I gave him a haircut. That's all that's left of him. I cut off all the dead. There was no point. Now, I was going to leave this on, but I saw last night it's already faded. So that rosebud's got to go. So it's got to be all kind of, everything's got to be balanced out, right? Now, what I just saw this morning, which gives me hope, like I told you, is there's one little leaf right there. See it? And it's still green. That's the only one that has any moisture in it. I don't know if it's going to take. We'll see. But I did give him the best pot. And that doesn't mean that it's just what I am. It's the same energy as the centipede person, right? We give of other people. We give to other people. We give of ourselves. Because it makes us feel good. Because we're loving. So this morning, we're going to start working, and we're going to give you the items to choose from. One of them is going to be this beautiful beast. My mama's boy. Hi. Yes, everyone's looking at you because you're so stinking gorgeous. We're going to work with the lion, which he is part lion. We're going to work with hen. We're going to work with the peyote. My friend gave me this little peyote plant with the ancient ones all around it. And we're going to work with the laughing couple, the dancing couple. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know which one goes first. We'll see. But I got to tell you, man, I woke up again this morning thinking, why did you do that? Why did you put it all on that? Why did you do that? Why did you push that guy away? My birthday's tomorrow. And I needed to get messages. So we're going to start with the Sacred Rebels, and we're going to start with the Lion Tiger, the Liger. And I know that there has always been this one male that's interfered this whole time, and that was just confirmed by the bird. Okay. We should freaking just piss off. Correct for neutrality. For those who chose Liger, and I certainly did. Correct for neutrality on all levels. I have that little bed down there. It was actually for Siam, because Liger used to sleep on it, and then he took over this Chase Lounge, and I thought, okay, good. And there's one for Siam, but clearly my big boy seems to get first dibs on everything, which is a message to me that he took over this one, right? This used to be Lily's, and it was mine, and Lily took it. So it was mine. And Liger was there, but then he decided to take over that. And I thought, good, that was for you anyway. And we'll give this to Siam. But he's like, no, I'm going down there too. Because it's telling me that I'm putting myself first before my twin. And I am. Starting today. I come before him. It's not all about him. This is about my life. Correct for neutrality on all levels. I'm not starting out my birthday living my life for another person. Correct for neutrality on all levels. So let's see what Spirit has to tell us. Sacred Rebels, what is our message for those who chose Liger? If I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm brought an animal messenger in the middle of the night, it's a huge message. It needs to be heard. All right, for those who chose Liger, the word wants to be written. Okay, so it's a good thing I'm doing this message right now. See all these butterflies coming out of her head? That's like epiphanies, right? This is the light going off inside, right? The word wants to be written. So there's tears. I've spent way too many days crying, way too many months, way too many years crying, right? And so has this one. The word wants to be written. So there's something that needs to be said, and it's being said. This is how I write the word. This is how I do it. I send it out online. So this is about creating something for yourself. Something for yourself that needs to be expressed. And it talks about if you were as a young one, and I was, in a situation where you were controlled or you had manipulative forces around you, it's hard for us to access this natural state of being able to express ourselves truthfully as we are, right? Giving ourselves permission to love ourselves, giving ourselves permission to honor and accept the circumstances of our life and put ourselves first. I will tell you that this is my life. This has been my life because of what I went through as a child. And it's like until we've gotten to this place, we've been so busy trying to adapt to everything that happened in our childhood. And we finally, it's like we have to let go of our childhood, and our path, we've discovered, was not easy. It was very, very challenging. It was very, very difficult. But that natural self inside of us has not gone anywhere. It's still in here. And it's screaming to come out. It's screaming to come out and be acknowledged. And the message is, like, what? Who the hell is here? Who cares anyway? I do. I care. And the rebel inside of you is saying, I am lovable. I am deserving. I am worthy. That Chase Lounge is mine. That is mine. This is my energy. Everything in this place is not for my twin. Why did I give him the best pot? Why did I say it was okay for myself to sit in a plastic pot when the beautiful pot that I bought for myself, I gave to him? Because that's what I've done my whole life. And that's what I've done with him our whole time that we've known each other, the last almost 22 years. It's always been him first because of the upbringing that I had, and because of having to work through all of these many layers. And it's not that anyone even would ask that of me. He's not here making me do this. I'm doing this to myself. But look at all these layers that are having to come away, right? That is telling us, why do you think the messages we're speaking about, I am lovable, I love myself as I am. I don't have to meet up to your standards. I don't have to have a body that fits the idea of what you think is the perfect body. I just have to love myself. I have to take off all of these layers and free myself and understand that no matter what has gone on in my life, I am lovable. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, right? I am still lovable the way I am. This is literally a rebellious energy that comes out, and it has to come out because it literally has to get to the place where it pushes out all this bullshit of the way that we have grown up believing in ourselves, that we have to be. It is. What would love say? What would love do? It's great. I mean, I love that I give of myself. My landlord gives of himself too. But when you don't get anything back, why do you keep giving of yourself? It's ridiculous, no matter who it is. So right now, there's something inside of you that wants to be expressed. It wants to be written. It wants to be danced. It wants to be sung. It wants to be painted. It wants to be gardened. Something needs to come out inside of you in order to break this freaking cycle that we have been in. And I've been in it for 55 years. 54 years. That's how old I am. So drop the differences, confront the shame. The shame of mine is the fact that I sit in this house by myself and I don't allow anyone else to get close to me because I'm holding on to this sacred union. And I know it's a sacred union, but I can't hold on to that union by myself. It's ridiculous while this one goes and lives his life completely. So this is saying it's finished. It's time to get naked with yourself, Sherry. Recognize it. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear the messages. And for you, maybe you're in the same place. Life is urging you to move forward. So we have to say something to ourselves at this time. It's an affirmation. So look at yourself and see yourself here with all of this transformation that's exploding all around you. I now choose to forgive and release any person or situation or circumstance that has ever been a source of shame or shaming for me, whether conscious or unconscious. I now release this from my body, my mind, my heart, and I do this through unconditional love. Unconditional love for self, right? I choose to claim myself instead. I love and accept and claim all of me under the loving protection and wisdom of life. I choose to live as myself. I call on the unconditionally loving assistance that life wishes to send me for this journey now. I honor my creative power and my innate worth. So be it. So be kind to yourself. And for the next several days, pay attention. And perhaps say this affirmation again. You've got this recorded. Well, pull it up, listen to it again. Say it again until you believe it. I had a friend, my friend Tony, who said that to me, right? He said something beautiful to me and I didn't believe him. And he said, don't turn your face away from me when I say this to you. I'm going to say this until you believe it. And by the time he and I parted a month and a half later, I believed it. So you tell your body, and what you tell your body will believe. So you start telling yourself that you're freaking worth it, and you don't put yourself on hold for anyone, even your twin soul. Doesn't mean he isn't a decent person. Doesn't mean he isn't a fabulous person, but so am I, right? So are you. Don't put yourself on hold for anybody, and I won't be anymore. Isn't it sound like, yesterday I heard the song playing in the background when we did the reading, and it was bipolar romance, right? You're hot and you're cold, you're this and you're that, you're in and you're out, and I know that that's what it is. It sounds like that because it feels that way, because it's kind of like a push and pull. That's what a twin soul situation does, but it's all about peeling away the layers and waking ourselves up to what we're really meant to do. And it is a push and a pull, push and a pull. You go forward, then you pull yourself back, and it's like a fight. It's like, and what's so frustrating is that's literally what's going on with the divine feminine and the divine masculine. There's like a battle of wills. There's like a, who wants to be in control? I don't want to be in control of him, but he will never be in control of me. But there's this push-pull energy where I feel like I need to give, I need to give. That is the divine feminine. We feel the need to give and heal and love our twin, and yet they're freaking running over there. You know? No mas anymore. Please, Sherry, please at least tell yourself from this day forward, I forgive myself. I forgive myself for putting everybody else, especially him, before me. No malice to him. But you know what? That hot guy yesterday, he wanted something from me, and I wouldn't even give him the time of day because there's a phantom that holds a space in my heart. He isn't in my physical arena. And if I don't stop doing this, there never will be anybody in my physical arena. And I'm not getting older and older and older by myself. So onward we go. So now we're gonna go to the lion. We're gonna go to the lion. Correct for neutrality. Divine Circus Oracle. You know, I went through this with the false twin, and I went through this with him, and it's interesting because I spent 6 years on each. 6 years. 12 years, 1 and 2, 3, full circle completion. I guess that was my lesson. Wow. Correct for neutrality on all levels. I opened myself up to the highest and best. Gotta get my studio ready in Sedona, right? No, I don't want a studio. I'm getting the suite. I'm getting the suite. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Correct for neutrality. I wonder who it was, that man, the one that was always between us, that came between my twin and I. It's always been a man. I don't know. But he hasn't given up this whole time. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Very big bird just landed in the water. Don't know what it is. Huge. Interesting, I saw its wings just start to fold down as it landed in the water. What are you? You're huge. There's so many water. Oh gosh, it's big. Do you know what it is? Oh my God. Because the pair just landed next to it. It's a Canadian goose. I'm the Canadian goose. The message for Canadian goose is going to be our second animal messenger for our reading today. The message for Canadian goose is you never leave a wounded bird behind. So the one who came between my twin and I probably was a man that he never could leave behind because he felt wounded. And it, like I said, remember the rehabilitated plant that was beautiful? Put all of the energy into the rehabilitated plant, and that's what you ended up looking like with nothing left? That was probably the one. Yep, that's confirmation. Well, I hope he was worth it to have taken all this time and sucked everything out of you and definitely taught me a lesson. Well, apparently he's not worth it, or she. It's a man, the Ice Queen. I'm curious to see who comes up now. Correct for neutrality. Come on, Sherry, how many? I'm gonna give myself a drink of water, hold on. Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me, happy birthday, dear Sherry. Happy birthday to me. Do you know that every other birthday for the last 5 years I've cried because I'm so sad about getting older? I didn't want to talk about it, didn't want to tell everybody how old I was. My spiritual twin's 10 years younger than me, okay? So, never wanted anybody to know, but it's ridiculous. I am the age that I am. And you know what? I'm pretty cute for the age that I am. You know what? I'm pretty cute, period. I'm a good person. And like I said, we talked about this a little while ago, and there's a lot of people that aren't afforded the luxury of growing older. My grandmother lived till she was 98. The only reason she didn't live longer is because she fell and broke her hip, and for some reason that does something. Her mother was 102, and I plan to be limitless. So age, so let's see. If my great-grandma was 102 and I'm 54, that's half of my life. I got another half of my life in front of me, right? And the spiritually awakened people, we're younger longer. Our skin is, it feels like we're aging backwards. It does to me anyway. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Embrace your birthday and be happy with it. This is the first one I'm actually going to celebrate and be happy about. And like I said, I had a time frame, and I think that's what it is. I had a time frame. He was supposed to show up or contact me by my birthday. And if he let one more birthday go by without doing that, it's time for me. Remember yesterday, you don't have someone else fill your void. You fill the void yourself. And then whoever's lucky to enjoy it with you, let them embrace that. Correct for neutrality on all levels for those who chose the lion. Rare, raw, real. Okay, look at this one. She's a freaking warrior. Rare, raw, real. She doesn't look very happy though coming out, right? Oh, interesting. She doesn't look happy coming out. I got a message about that this morning. There is somebody that's going to come out. They're going to come out being gay. They are. And they're going to be celebrated. It's going to be amazing for them. But they haven't wanted to. They haven't wanted anyone to know, and they've been hiding it. But once they do, they're going to realize that all this time that's been spent wasted on fear and worry and not being who they truthfully are is just like, it's going to go up in smoke, because they're going to come out as they truthfully really, really are. The beauty in themselves. So this is for all of us. There is a unique beauty in you that wants to come out. There's something that you don't see. There's something in you that is not, it's not picture perfect. It's not all neat and tidy in a pretty bow. There's something about you. And you feel vulnerable to share this about yourself. You don't want people to know this about yourself. You don't want people to know that you've been through this, that this has happened, that you chose to do this, that you made these choices, that you are gay, that you are bi, that you are actually a spiritual person, and all this time you've been denying it, and this is really truthfully who you are. That you have gone to jail, that you have been in rehab, that you've been struggling with meth or cocaine addiction, that all of this time you've hidden it from people. You've dealt with it. You've been working through it, but you don't want people to know it. But you know what? It's coming out. It's time to peel back the layers and show yourself for who you truthfully are. Rare, raw, real. And you've been building up a protection to hide yourself behind that warrior paint, right? You've been trying to protect yourself in some way by acting tough, by acting like you don't care, by hiding yourself away. I don't know. Whatever it is that you've been hiding. And Spirit says these feelings that you've been hiding down inside, they shove this energy out like that one. Look at that. That is not, this one does not want people coming towards them, right? It comes off as anger or fear is what it really is, but it comes across aggressive, right? So what is this that's inside of you? These feelings that are there, and they're a sign that says to other people, stay away, back off, back away from me, right? This self-protection. And the self-protection was built because of shame, fear, anger, doubt, worry. That's what built this warrior complex on the outside. And right now, underneath that pain, if you allow this to start falling away, you see your real truthful self. And there's going to be a revelation that maybe you didn't even know was there. Like what I just did, right? That you don't even realize that you're going to unpeel and you're going to show. And you're going to allow the truth of yourself to come through. And it isn't about, going out there and flashing yourself out there and making a big public display. It's just about being honest. It's just about coming up completely, truthfully yourself. It's about dropping this defensive armor that you have taken up and stop acting in the way that you have acted. Because in all reality, it's not the truth of how you feel. You've put on this pretense. It could also be that you have been pretending to be kind and sweet and gentle and loving to people when you're actually really angry and you don't really want anything to do with them. So then be real about that too. Stop holding this perfect composure that you're happy in the circumstance, like me. This is my message, right? Stop dropping the composure that you're happy to do this, because I'm not. I don't like it. I don't embrace it. I don't want it. I'm not enjoying it. It's not fun, and I'm not doing it anymore. So this is what you're meant to do, right? This is about when we do things, we need to do it because it's coming from a genuine place. And now that's the truth. There is a genuine love that I'm sending this out, but I'm not happy to sit here isolated by myself and push everybody away. I want attention. I want companionship. I want love in my life. And if me loving this one means that I have to stay isolated by myself, I can't give that much of myself. So this is what we're being asked to do. Peel away down to the truth and reveal the situation. If there's something about you that you feel is going to be judged, then you know what? You don't need them in your life. People that are going to judge you for being who you truthfully, honestly are, I mean, all that you can be is the truth of who you are. All that you can do is be your best, right? And if somebody's going to judge you for that, they shouldn't be in your arena, and they shouldn't matter. Their opinion shouldn't matter to you. So you need to be brave in order to do this, to show your true self, to understand that what makes you whatever you need to do that makes the need to feel less afraid. It's going to take bravery in order to do it, right? It's not, you may think it's easy for me to say the things that I say to you guys. It's not. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I literally unveil in front of you layer after layer. I work through an issue. I go through it. I take it back. I'll go through it. I'm working through things just like you do, right? And it's not easy, but I have to do this because I'm a teacher. And Spirit said to me, you know, stop showing so much of yourself. Stop. And they didn't say it to me. Someone else said it to me through like a spiritual message. Aries, don't show so much of yourself. Don't give your own personal opinion so much. And I thought, who are you to talk? Who are you to talk to all Aries? Because I'm being shown that I need to express myself. So you have to also, you guys, ask your own higher selves, how does this resonate with me? Is this the place where I'm at? If this is an item that you chose, does this resonate with you? Have you been doing this? Have you been hiding part of yourself? Have you been trying to act like you're okay with this situation when you're absolutely not? When in all reality, that's how you feel about the situation? I'm not okay with it. So then this is your message, right? That's why I don't like doing Aries, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. I mean, I am a Pisces moon, a Gemini rising, and an Aries sun. So that was a message to an Aries, and I got my back up, and I thought, no, because I'm not just that. I'm everything. I'm a compilation of everything, right? So embrace your uniqueness. It's your divine right to be who you are because you were made this way. Why would you be made this way if there was something wrong with it? There is nothing wrong with who you are and how you were made. You've got wings of freedom. That's what you need to say. I'm looking at the feathers on her head. I'm looking at birds this morning, right? What landed in the water? Canadian goose, that's me. So I'll be posting Canadian goose message with this reading. And then the ones, they were ducks, they were mallards, and a feminine one as well. So the duck talks about the comforts of home. It talks about you are someone who likes the comforts, like that centipede person, likes to have it really nice and cushy, has a difficult time stepping out of their comfort zone, right? Wants to be in the company of others. It works together, likes to work together in a team. It talks about feathering your nest, right? And it showed this morning that there was somebody encroaching on your nest, a nest that you were feathering for yourself, and there's another male that's trying to get in there, has been trying to get in there and cause dissension the entire time. So you need to step up and do something about that, don't you? Be less afraid about what makes you different and be more ready to stand up and be the truth of who you are. What does it feel like? If you ask yourself, what does your heart feel like? What does it look like to you? Turquoise. Mine's turquoise. That's my soul color. It's a beautiful color. Does it have wings? Does it run along the ground? Does it swim? What does yours do? Mine's able to do all of those things. What does yours feel like? What does it feel like to you? What kind of a heartbeat do you have? What does it sound like? Mine sounds like a native drum. Sometimes it beats quickly. Sometimes it's a heavy, deep, resonating thump, 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 thump. And then it can speed up. Think about your heart. Think about your wings. What do your wings look like? I've seen my wings. We all have wings. I've dropped my wings out from behind my back. If you have been feeling tension in your shoulders, remember? I was feeling that tension and I automatically started rubbing my own shoulders. I needed to let my wings out. I've seen my wings and I need to ruffle them out and let them drop. They sweep the ground. They're incredible looking. They're incredible. They're silver tipped. They're beautiful. They go all the way to the ground. So, you think about your feet, you think about your wings, you think about your heart. You say, I've got feet of an adventurer. What do your feet look like? Are they human feet? Are they duck feet? Are they dragon feet? What do they look like? Whatever they are they hooves so that you can run free across the savannah? That's what mine are not. Mine are a jaguar. Interesting that I said jaguar. I always think black jaguar, but a jaguar and a panther is the same animal. Black is just the color. Isn't that? It's like a clouded leopard. But mine are that. They are able to climb trees. They're sure-footed. They're able to swipe. They're able to defend. They're strong. They're able to pounce, right? You got to ask yourself what yours feel like. I'm starting to move. My body's moving. Look at this. This is what I've been doing the whole time. My black panther feet, right? They're ready to go. They're ready to roll. They're ready to move. So here's an affirmation for you. I have the voice of the soul. I am creative and unique and proud of all that I have. I am raw, rare, and real. Strangely beautiful and beautifully strange. My quirks and oddities, the parts that don't fit neatly in your little pretty box, that's what makes me special. Raw, rare, real. My true self, I gracefully reveal. I like a lot. And what's interesting is I didn't choose that, but I choose all these messages. I like that a lot. For those who chose the ayahuasca plant, that little ayahuasca button my friend gave me. It's not ayahuasca. Why did I say that? It's peyote. There's a message in that. It's peyote. And I said that I would never take ayahuasca, right? It's Spirit has told me no. My mind is already way too open and it would blow me open, and not to mention you can't control any energy that comes in when your crown is blown open like that. You are not in control. And anytime, I will never allow my crown to be in the control of anyone else. So I will never take it, ever. And I kept calling that. It's interesting because it's peyote. So somebody has done that, has taken that. It's affected them. And it's a ritual, I can see, because they're all dancing around it. Someone at the beach did that with a group of people. They got hooked on it. It wasn't good for them. It blew their mind open. So for those who chose the peyote, and I did not, I'm not choosing that. It just came up for some reason. Anyway, my friend up in Santa Cruz, he grew it, and he grew it to use it, and I said I would never, but he said it has a very beautiful flower that grows on the top of it. And since I'm a gardener, I'd never had one. I asked for it, and I'm anxious to see the beautiful flower that comes from the top of it. Correct for neutrality on all levels. What was the last item that we chose? Oh, the running couple, and I choose them. Correct for neutrality on all levels. From the Sacred Revel, for those who chose the peyote plant, peyote button. Hold on, let me see what that is. That's a loud one. Let me see if I can see who that is. I think I know the bird that it is, and I can't think of the name of that bird right now. I used to always call that bird a grosbeak, and it wasn't a grosbeak. It's a different name, and I get it wrong every single time. I've been here 3.5 years, and I still can never get that bird straight. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose the peyote button, very humid today. Extremely humid. A lot of emotion, but the sun is evaporating it, and that's why it's rising. It's good for your skin. For those who chose the peyote button, focus on the light. Okay, there's a song called Sunflower right now. You guys know the song? I saw it right away because I saw this eye that looks like a sunflower. You would be my sunflower. And this talks about, I can see who's making the noise. It's the Canadian geese, and they're right on our dock. You guys may not be able to see it unless you zoom in, but they're literally standing on the edge of the dock, right above that red roof. There it flies across. You see it? So it's the Canadian goose couple. That's who's talking. And that is who's talking. I'm one half of that Canadian goose couple. The one who didn't want to leave her wounded bird behind. Who isn't a crushed acorn? Got it. So the song, Sunflower, you are the sunflower, and it talks about somebody who waited for somebody. And I know I'm always running off and leaving you, and, you know, but I think your love might be too much for me. You could be my sunflower. That's the name of this person. And you can see the blue eye, right, with the yellow iris. And there's a forest all around the outside, and this one is focusing on the light. So the message through the number 3, full circle completion, and the number 7, if you stay on your spiritually illuminated path, it will exceed your expectations. 7, 8, 9, 10, which is an ending. The ending, one door closes, and as one door closes, another door opens. That's what's going on here. Absolutely is an ending for me of behavior. And here this one still is looking for the light. So to me, I feel as though their eyes are closed, and they're looking into the eye of that other one. So it's saying that you're feeling the need to adjust, which is what I'm feeling the need to do, right? The light is entering your heart, but it's entering your heart in a new way. It's another layer. Confirmation, Canadian Goose. It's another layer, and it might be feeling uncomfortable, but it's going to bring rapid improvement into your life because it's coming at a proper time. Everything happens at the right time, right? These changes. And you could have feelings of shame. I could sit here and be embarrassed, but I'm not going to do that for myself. Why would I? I'm not going to do that. And I'm expressing it and sharing it with you because that's my job as a teacher. So you might feel uncomfortable and might have that shame for holding on, you know, but no, let go of that. Release that. Release the fear, release the energy of not wanting to just move forward, and stay focused on whatever your pure intention is. What is your pure intention? What would love say? What would love do? My intention is to teach. My intention is to help. My intention is to be supportive and loving. I don't leave wounded people behind. But that also includes myself, right? We have to give to ourselves. So Spirit is saying, let the energy, let this working of love move through you. Allow it to flow and touch the world. And touch yourself. We are a part of this world. Some people may feel that I can't do this, I can't keep up, right? This is too much, this change is too difficult for me. Some people like to know and have things planned out, right? I want to know what's happening. I want to have the next 5 years in front of me. I mean, I've never been that person, but I know people like that, and this would be very difficult for them to not maybe know what's coming forward. But that kind of constricts your possibilities rather than allowing you to allow the light to flow and move through you. So right now, it's basically asking you to take a look at what really matters to you. What is it that your heart wants to create at this time? The divine masculine is forward movement. That's the sun. That's what everything grows from, right? We are growing, constantly evolving, moving into a higher perspective, higher level. We don't want to be so blinded that we can't see the forest for the trees. That's what's going on here. There you go. You don't want to be blinded so you don't see the forest for the trees. So there's something that you don't see. There's something that is not necessarily clear to you. So what can you do in that circumstance? You just focus on the light. You focus on the good. I'm not angry at my twin. I'm not angry at myself. I'm just focusing on what I can do for myself and keep moving forward. Focus on what would love say, what would love do. You act in that manner for yourself as well as others, right? So this is what you need to focus on. For me, it's a service-oriented work. This is what I do. This is my work. So for you, perhaps that. If it's a practice, I mean, on a practical level, this is what I do for my work. So if I focus on the light, if I'm constantly reaching for the light, which is forward movement, new growth, that means I'm going to allow myself to unfold. It means I'm going to allow these new layers to come out and shed the old layers. I'm not going to be embarrassed. Remember I said, on the path of ascension, we think we got it. We think we get to a place where we know what it is, and then Spirit says, next, peel it off, we're going to another level. You never get it done. So how can you be embarrassed that you didn't know, or you're moving to the next level, or you're going to do something different? You didn't know because you weren't there. So we're constantly moving up, right? Now, as far as maybe your work situation, this can help you in a financial way, right? Because you're constantly evolving. You're staying open. Remember yesterday we got keep an open heart and open mind. So we need to do this right now. Sometimes success that comes forward can be a mirror that shines Maybe it's you see success in someone else. You see a mirror of something in your own life, and you think, huh. Somebody said to me the other day, "Don't you hate it when people copy you?" I hate it. And I say they should be original, right? But we all kind of copy a little bit of each other. We look at parts of how somebody's done something or the way somebody's operating. We like that. I like that. I'm going to adopt that and work that into my way of doing things. But I'll create my own, right? I'm not going to just forge somebody else's words or take somebody else's project and steal it and say it's mine. But we all do take a little bit of from everything that we see that's successful. Why would we not? And then incorporate that. So this is maybe what's going on here. An opportunity, when we look at that, we can then sow seeds of our own, right? Make something come of it. Let's see. What can we do? I mean, this isn't a positive. So there's a negative way of doing this too. It talks about if you look at the way somebody else is doing things in a business, maybe the spotlight is shining on a group of people or a job, a situation, and we get to the place where our ego starts getting involved instead. We're not coming from the heart. And there starts to be power plays happening, right? Power plays, games, politics start coming so that you can beat out the competition or get ahead. You know, that one that's always trying to interfere, right? And what do you have to do in order to get a firmer foundation, to get a hold of this place? Sometimes you start compromising your integrity. And then you start looking at it and you ask yourself, when you get to a place of this, when a light shines on all of a sudden, and you think to myself, what am I doing? I've lost my focus about where I was going. I had an idea, I had a good intention, a pure intention, but then I was trying to get ahead and I was trying to get bigger. Remember, go create a legacy, manifest destiny. I started really focusing on getting big and getting ahead, and then the competition came and it got very fierce. And then all of a sudden we're starting to sow seeds, but we're sowing seeds of destruction, and we're starting to undermine the foundation of what should have been something beautiful. So we have to be careful of that. Right? What is the motivation that we have? Is it for money? Is it for influence? Is it so that we become something so people look up to us? Or are we doing something because we started out originally wanting to help others? We started out originally wanting to be a positive force in the world. And yet it turned into something ugly. It shifted into something different. It turned into greed. It turned into wanting to be better than someone else, which meant putting others down, which meant ignoring other people, which meant what ended up happening to that rose bush? Everything got sucked out of it. Everything, something beautiful, was completely sucked dry. How did that happen? It lost its original luster. I've put everything into something else, and I've lost that. All this about myself, all of this natural beauty of who I am. Maybe you needed to belong into this group. You wanted to fit into this situation, this society, this following of people, and so you shed all of who you truthfully were. You started putting on this outer surface, and it started eating away at your soul, and you ended up like that rose bush with nothing left. Is that what happened to you? Was it not even necessarily that someone else did that to you, but that you did that to yourself? Because you so badly wanted to belong and wanted to be big. And it kind of brings to me that song, I street the sweets that I once owned. People used to tremble when I would walk the streets, but now I sweep the streets. And I realized that what I built was it was a castle built on sand, and it had to fall. I had to fall. I had to lose it all in order to understand. Because this is what you really want. I think of that song. I found you there on your knees, and helped you back up on your feet, only to find out that you took advantage of me. And how does it feel knowing I put you up there? I put everything of myself into you. I rehabilitated you. You became like this, and I became like that. There's so many different messages that are coming out, and I didn't even find out from you. You didn't even come to me, but I found out that in this business that we were trying to work, you took everything, and you manipulated, and you lied, and you deceived, and oh my God, all these different stories are coming out right now with this message. And now you've got to get back to the basics. Raw, original, real, like the other message, right? You have to shift and find out that where is the original luster? Is it still there? Do I need to remove myself completely from this and start again? I just gave that one a complete haircut, cut everything off. There were no attachments. It was all gone. This can happen to it. This one was rehabilitated. Maybe what you have put into a project, into a situation, into somebody else, grooming somebody, to find out maybe that you were the one that was taken advantage of. Or maybe you've done this to yourself. There's so many different ways that this is coming out right now. You don't want to end up just a corporate machine with no natural beauty, no life, no originality. You've sold your soul to the devil, basically. So this is a message of positive, about now focusing on the light. This is about bringing things back into order. This is about a project or an endeavor or an organization that you might be involved in. And it will help you realize, your heart will help you understand, where is the light in this for me? Where is my light? Do I belong here? Is there another one that would be better for me? Is there something that I should do maybe on my own? But Spirit's saying, we want you to focus. Did you lose sight of the forest because of the trees? Did you get stuck in there? So Spirit wants you to stay focused and not to be distracted by the lights that come at you, which is maybe attention, which may be popularity, which might be success. Don't get distracted by the lights. It's like a star. You get starry-eyed, and all of a sudden, you drop your old friends. I keep thinking about that song by Stained. He moved to LA, and the guy said, I guess he was a singer, right? And he says, all you have to do is lose a few pounds and shed that wife or that girlfriend and get rid of those friends, put on some nice clothes, and I'll make you a millionaire. And for a little while he stayed, and then he realized, you know what I realized? This is not for me. This is not for me. I like my clothes the way they are. I like my old dirt road, my country road. I like that. And the people that I walked away from, my friends I walked away from because I got bigger and better, and I was accepted there. What did I do? I literally dried up. The love of me, the life of me. I lost myself. I sold my soul to the devil. Was it worth it? Doesn't sound like it, right? So don't be distracted. I'm going to sneeze. A clearing is necessary. Clear away all the cobwebs in your head, right? Clear away the fog that we're seeing out here. So this comes from realizing that there can be a win-win situation. The original purpose that you had is still there. It can be successful. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to be successful at all costs. Whether that means I cut you out, whether that means I do this or that, I deny the truth of who I am. I don't let people know my sexual orientation. I don't let the people know who I actually truly love. I don't let people know that I'm actually a very spiritual person down underneath here. I've stuffed all that down because I needed to get success. And then when I started getting that success, I was reaching for it. And when I got that, I forgot my original purpose. I have a lot of friends, spiritual friends, who started out with pure intentions and ended up getting really, really big. And now they're like a conglomerate, and I don't even recognize them anymore. The dove just landed on our next door. The dove is talking about peace and prophecy and soulmate connection. It also talks about someone offering an olive branch. We want peace and harmony in our life. That's a beautiful, beautiful dove. Where's your mate? Where's your mate? You're all alone up there. There you are, up high, right? You're up above everyone else, but where's your mate? You're by yourself. Was it worth it? Doesn't sound like it. So, Spirit says the light is still there. The gift that you have is still there, and you can still manifest something beautiful to the world, to offer to the world. Whether this be a project or a relationship, if you stay focused and you're not distracted by those lights, you don't have to walk away from everything, just from the toxic energy, just from maybe your attitude, just the way that you have, maybe you do have to walk away. This one's pretty much naked, and the problem is they've got their hair braided. Their psychic antennae is twisted tightly, and so they're probably not getting all of the messages that need, but they're still reaching. because their soul is still in there trying to find the light. And you're listening to this, so if this is your message and you resonate with this, you are reaching. That dove is sitting there listening. It's still sitting there, right? It may not be with his mate or her mate. So don't allow yourself to be distracted by other paths around you when you're so close to succeeding on your own. And maybe you got off your path. I got a little distracted too, right? Stay on your path. The light is still there. Follow it. Don't dilute your energies. You're on the path of success, and your light will shine sooner than you realize on your own in a proper way. You might need to diversify and choose different ways to express yourself, maybe explore in different ways. But you can build on what you're working on and realize that success then is going to be coming very swiftly. Because why? Because this is probably just the lesson you needed to learn, right? So you can imagine with sunflower, what the sunflower does is when the sun comes up in the morning, the sun, if you've ever seen a sunflower, they're like this at night. When the sun comes up, they turn their head and they follow the sun across the sky. And when the sun goes down, they drop their heads, which means we need always to keep our eyes to spirit, follow spirit as we go across, right? It also tells you about working, right? You don't work all day, all night. You get up, you do what you can during the day, and then you let it go. That's what the sunflower does and what it teaches you. Sunrise to sunset. So imagine that you are this gentle sunrise. You're going with it. You're lifting your head up to spirit. You're moving across the sky. You're listening to spirit. You're bathing in that beautiful golden energy. You are a vessel. And that golden energy, you're going to allow it to pour down into you. Let's use the sunflower. We can't use the sun today because it's cloudy. So we'll use the divine sunflower. And we ask that that energy goes into our crown, completely filling us up, that divine masculine, forward movement, growth, new beginnings, positivity, spiritual light, healing, loving, unconditional energy. It's filling us up all the way from our root chakra, all the way to the top of our crown. And as it goes up and it fills us, it's burning off all the negativity inside of us, worry, doubt, fear, anger, blame, anything toxic. Comes up, all of our chakras start igniting and spinning. I can feel mine spinning. And as it spins at such a high frequency that it pushes away all the negativity. It's burning off anything that we've thought inside of ourselves that was negative. It gets to the top, it explodes at the top like a volcano, pours down the outside of us, this loving, unconditionally purifying, strong, powerful, cleansing, unconditional healing energy of this divine sunlight. And it's now burning off any toxic energy that comes and has tried to attach on the outside. But remember, it's vibrating at a high frequency. It's sending out loving, unconditional healing energy. So it's helping ourselves, but it's also sending that out into the world. See, again, now you are on your path doing the work that's going to be helping others. You are also protecting yourself because all that crap is now being burned off. All the bullshit that you lied, cheat, and stole in order to achieve. Maybe you did lie in order to get what you needed or to keep yourself safe in this situation. Interesting that that little dove is still listening to us right now by himself. Still listening, right? Paying attention. So now this is coming down around the outside of us and it's burning all of that off because it's going to make us protected and fresh and pure. Then we're going to ask for a pure mirrored sheeting to go around the outside of us so that any energy that comes at us, anything is sent back to the sender 100-fold. Whether it be love, whether it be negative, whatever it is, we're not touching them and it's not going to touch us. It's going to bounce. It's going to bounce out. So we'll use that right now. Those beautiful, energizing, healing rays. It's energizing too. That's why my chakras are spinning. This is it. Stay with that feeling. Now you've completed. This is a healing process that you've just completed. I like that. That was cool. Okay, that was the peyote people. And there you are. You listened? Good job. He's back up on where he belongs. So now we're going to go to the dancing, laughing couple. That man, I always thought it was a man, right? And that this was a female. My mom said that because these were my mother's. She paid a lot for those. One of the few pieces I have of hers. And she said that was the man chasing after her, wanting to give her a flower. But I ended up realizing that that was me, and I'm supporting myself with my own back, right? You don't think about a guy with a big butt. The girls have the bigger butt. The guy is more slim, and he's running and he's falling. So then the message is, she's running, she supports herself, she's got this beautiful flower that she keeps in front of herself, and he's falling in love, whether he knows it or not. Okay, so now we're going to them, and we're going to go to the Divine Circus Oracle. And you're still listening. Little dove, correct for neutrality on all levels. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose the running couple, and I did. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose the running playful couple. Kind of like Jack and Jill ran up the hill. What's the story? Jack and Jill ran up the hill. Jack fell down, broke his crown, and Jill went tumbling after. Jack did fall down, but she went running after him, right? Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose the playing couple, the love couple, the soulmates. Guest of honor. So remember how you have what I said that came out, that you may have lied, cheated, and stole to want to get to a certain place? And sometimes you may have not done that, but you may have felt that. I wanted so bad to belong. I wanted so bad to be a part of that. I wanted so badly to be accepted. And here you are, the guest of honor. Now, you're at like a masquerade ball, it looks like, because you're wearing a mask. So maybe this is where you were, right? You were wearing a mask, like that little dove person, the one who lied to stay where they were, to feel accepted, right? And you were wearing this mask because you just so wanted to belong to them. You wanted to be accepted. You wanted to be desired. You wanted to be included. You wanted to belong, like that singer that wanted to be rich and famous, or that actor who wanted to be rich and famous, or whoever, whatever the crowd is, right? The guy moved to LA, wanted to belong to that she crowd, and lost his old friends, didn't want anybody to know I like that girl. She's kind of a little bit whack, right? So here you are. Felt like you were on the outside looking in, right? Or maybe you're in a place where I was just saying, I'm sitting here watching everyone else. I help people all day long with relationships, right? With work, with all kinds of different things. Maybe you felt like you're on the outside and everybody else has found their person. They found their partner. They found their place. They know, they've got their job. They know their career. They found their place in life. They're kind of set, right? And you can't get past the freaking gates. Remember I said when I went outside, I don't want to be outside this gate anymore. I don't want to be in this fenced-in area with everything just outside there with me not able to touch it. And so I got in my car and I moved up the road and I found the road and I went up to where I wanted to be, where I could be free. I didn't want to be inside that gate anymore, and I wasn't going to stay inside that gate anymore. So a lot of that has to do with our own not willing to stay in that place anymore. Like I said this morning, I'm not willing to sit here while I have this beautiful, wonderful soul that's a complete phantom, right? So Spirit is saying there's times for you to break free and stand on your own. Get away from the crowd. Do it on your own. Be the outsider. You have to be brave to go out there and do it on your own, right? This is when we do this, when we stand on our own, when we do our own thing, we find that we accomplish something amazing. We find our own sense of self-worth and self-esteem, and we realize, I don't want to fit in with them. I don't want to be included in that. I don't want to be in that group that forgot why they were doing what they were doing. And they've become some conglomerate. You can't even reach them anymore. They're like a movie star and they have secretaries taking their appointments. And your friend doesn't even answer their text message anymore. They're not available to you anymore because they're just too above you. I don't want to belong to that. That's not appealing to me, right? I'll go do my own thing, right? I'll go out and do my own thing, and I have. And I don't belong to that group of people anymore, and I don't care to. And I don't feel sad about not being a part of that. But there may have been things that you have wanted to be a part of, and you just decided, well, I'm going to go do my own thing and continue my work, and you found out who you were, and you found out that you were very, very strong. And Spirit says now, however, you get to the place where you've kind of isolated yourself. I've done that, right? And I know that there's a part of me that's trying to rip out. Doesn't want to be isolated anymore. Doesn't want to be on the outside edge. I've done my work. I've gotten strong. I've worked on my own. I don't do this with anyone else. I do it by myself. I didn't have family. Didn't have friends. My twin wasn't here. No one was here, right? It has made me very strong, but I don't want to be an island anymore. It's my birthday tomorrow, right? It's my birthday. And this is called Guest of Honor. So this is basically Spirit saying you've been on the outside too long. You've become too used to being a lone wolf. I've said that, right? I'm the lone wolf. And it did serve a purpose. It did shift us and get us to the place where we recognize our self-worth. We were able to build. We were able to become stronger. We did it on our own. We didn't have to do it with somebody else filling our void. We did it ourselves. We did our work. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't always fun. It could have been very lonely. It was for me. It has been for me a lot. But I can look back now and I know who I am now compared to who I was then. And I like where I'm at right now. So it served a purpose. But now there's going to be another shift. Remember, Spirit says, you just get used to something, you know, doing a certain thing and being a certain way. And now they're like, okay, good. You did that. Now it's shifting time. So now it's time to shift. And now what's going on is, well, for me, I share this. That's what I'm supposed to do, is share this. That's my job. But it's also your job to go back and share what you've learned. What has changed about you? What have you learned in this process? Right? And right now, you're not worried about getting in and being welcomed in by those ones and getting the phone call or getting, you know, I'm not waiting around for you to come to me. And what's interesting is as soon as we get to that place, it's like that's all we needed to do to get to that place, because now we get the VIP. We're being invited in, apparently. We're going to sail past the security guards. Apparently it's our time to be granted this cup. We have learned to accept our own self. We have learned that we don't need your approval. We don't need to lean on you and ask you for permission, right? We can stand on our own amongst the crowd. We actually probably stand out in the crowd. And right now, Spirit says, we want you to take your rightful place there. You are now invited in. You are now invited in. Now, at times, it's like, no thanks, I don't need to be there. But that's not what Spirit's saying. Spirit's saying, we want you to accept this cup because you belong. You are the truth of who you are, just as you are. You go in and feel comfortable walking right in, where places before you might have felt like you needed others' approval. You needed a special entrance pass to get in there. You don't right now. Right now, you've gotten your own pass. You are the guest of honor. You're going to be offered something that matters a lot to you. Something that you have wanted. Something that means a lot for you. And Spirit says we want you to accept it. You're the guest of honor. It's like before, their approval was more important than yours. But now not. Now not. This, what you're going to be offered, is a place of pride. It could be on a spiritual level. It could be just that you have figured this out mentally. It could be literally a special offer. This is the golden chalice being offered to you. You're being held in your hand. This is yours. So you can imagine a giant invitation being sent to you from the castle, right? It's got your name on it in gold embossed letters. And there's a big red seal. It comes from on high. And it says, you are invited. Are you going to accept? And Spirit says, we want you to say yes, because this is yours. This is, you have arrived. It's kind of like you have arrived. You found yourself. You have arrived. And because of that, it's like you're welcomed into the world in a place where you didn't feel that you had arrived before, that you didn't belong before. You do. So here is what you're meant to say. I belong. I have pride of place, the place that only I can fill. I am one of a kind, and yet I belong to all humanity, but I'm one of a kind. There's no one like me. I was made unique, right? I'm invited to take my place at this grand feast of life, and I accept this invitation wholeheartedly. I will partake in this party. Party on. Let's go. Cheers, right? This is for you. So every door I wish to open for me does so at the perfect time. My perfect suite will open up for me. As I said, it's just my desire to design it, right? I design what it looks like. And then I allow Spirit to work with me and bring it into existence. Well, every door I wish to open for me does so at the perfect time and in the perfect way. I'm invited to all that life has to offer, and I accept it gratefully with joy in my heart. Song, I'll never be your beast of burden. And the guy just literally, I'll show you, going by it in the wakeboard, he just totally jumped out of the water when I heard the words. Let's go look up the lyrics to that song, Beast of Burden, because does it say I'll never be your beast of burden, or does it say I want to be your beast of burden? I would say I never want to be your beast of burden. I'm over that, right? Oops. Okay, let's see. I gotta look it up. Ooh, it feels cooler in here. I've got the fans running. What song's playing on in here? Let's see. Oh, I want to marry you. Someone wants to marry you. Somebody might be getting a wedding invitation. Who cares, babe? I think I want to marry you. Okay. Let's see. I'll never be your beast of burden. I'm sure it's that, right? Not anymore. I'll never be your beast of burden. Rolling Stones. Okay. Here we go. I'll never be your beast of burden. My back is broad, but it's hurting. All I want is for you to make love to me. I'll never be your beast of burden. I've walked for miles. My feet are hurting. All I want is for you to make love to me. I'm hard enough. I'm rough. Am I hard enough? Am I rough enough? Am I tough enough? Am I rich enough? I'm not too blind to see. I'll never be your beast of burden. So let's go home and draw the curtains. Music on the radio. Come on, baby. Make sweet love to me. Am I hard enough? Am I rough enough? Am I rich enough? I'm not too blind to see. Oh, little sister, pretty, pretty, pretty girl. You're pretty, pretty, pretty girl. Such a pretty, pretty girl. Come on, baby, please, please. This is the one that's now being invited, right? I'll tell you, you can put me out on the street. Put me out with no shoes on my feet. But put me out of my misery. All your sickness, I can suck it up. Throw it at me. I can shrug it off. There's one thing, baby, that I don't understand. You keep on telling me I ain't your kind of man. I ain't rough enough. I ain't tough enough, I ain't rich enough, in love enough. Ooh, please, I'll never be your beast of burden. Never. Sounds like this person has kind of got a conflict, right? Like he really likes this girl, but I'm not going to be your beast of burden, but he loves her, wants to marry her. I say get over yourself, right? All right, and then the song right now is that one. I found you on your knees, I filled your cup, put you back up on your feet. Kept hard to keep you close. I was afraid to leave you on your own. Somebody was taking care of someone, was worried about letting them be on their own in case they fell. And I said, if they laugh, fuck them all. And I got you off your knees, set you back on your feet, only to find out that you took advantage of me. How does it feel, baby? Sitting up there, knowing that I put you there, right? This is that one that did all of that for somebody else. And I guess they've recognized, I'll never be your beast of burden, but maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's who they dealt with before. And so the one that they actually really care about, they're saying, I'll never be your beast of burden, because that's what that one did to them. So don't pin the sins of another onto somebody else. It's called projection, and it's called not let go of the past. Release the past and move forward and claim what is yours, because apparently there's a cup that's being offered to someone, and I say I'm accepting the one that's being offered to me. Hope you guys have a fab day. I love you. We'll speak soon. Bye.